Okay, so we are approaching the end of spring 2024 anime season, and I have one regret. And that regret is not talking more about this anime because it is fucking insanely good. This is Yatagarasu, The Raven Does Not Know Its Master. I think it's also published as The Crow Does Not Know Its Master. Tomato, tomato at this point. Anyway, I'm just catching up on it now, and I just want to say a few things. I actually want to make this video talking about my favourite characters in this show because it's got a lot of interesting characters. As a brief overview, this is actually a political intrigue story set in the fictional land of Yamauchi and based on the Japanese/Chinese folklore of Yatagarasu, which is a three-legged crow. And I have spoken about the legend of Yatagarasu on my page, so if you want to learn more about this specific yokai, go check it out. I'd link the video, but again, TikTok has taken that video feature away, so it is what it is. Anyway, first let's talk about the MCs, because it's basically these guys. So the first one here, the tall guy, this is Crown Prince Wakamiya, and he is a Kinu. Now, in Yatagarasu society, a Kinu is basically a golden crow. That's basically what it is, or a golden raven. And they are born every 100 years, I believe it is, and they are considered the true rulers of Yamauchi. Now, there is a little bit of complexity here because he is the second prince of the current emperor of Yamauchi. We'll talk about his brother later, but his older brother has a different mother to him, and he was in line for the throne until he was born as a Kinu. Kinus supersede everything. This has caused a lot of upset for the older crown prince, his mother, who obviously wants her son to be the next emperor. So there's a lot of like scheming in the background to this guy. And he has a lot more enemies than he does friends. And then I want to talk about the guy next to him, Yukiya. He is actually technically the main character. I guess the story focuses on him. He is a young boy from the north. He is the second son of a lord of some kind. And up until the recent episode, we don't know who his mother is, but he has a different mother to his other siblings. And basically what happens is he gets into an altercation with a bunch of court ravens. So this is a society that has levels. It works very much like Imperial China or Japan, in that you have, you know, obviously the royal family, then you have like court attendants and court people and like lords and all that other shit. And then you have like hill ravens, which are, you know, considered pretty low class. And then you have like slaves, basically. And so these court ravens mistake Yukiya, who is the son of a noble, for a hill raven and kind of like bully him. And he kind of publicly embarrasses them in front of the oldest crown prince, not this guy, his brother, which causes them all to be dismissed as court ravens because they basically were going to be serving the crown prince here, the Kinu. And so that causes a lot of embarrassment for their families. But Yuki is not wrong. He's not wrong because they fucked around and they found out. So I'm on his side. And his family are too. His family are actually quite nice. But they're like, look, we have to do something with you because we get why you did it, but you're going to take their place. So they send him reluctantly to be basically the retainer or servant of Wakamiya, which at first he hates because Wakamiya works him like a fucking dog. But they do over time develop like a good like relationship, I guess. And then Yukiya does become quite dedicated to Wakamiya, and he recognizes Yukiya's hard work because he's a very difficult person to deal with. He actually only had one other retainer called Sumio, who I'm not going to mention in this video, but just know I love Sumio. Yeah, that's it. He has two retainers. That's it, which is unusual because normally you'd have quite a few for somebody at this level. Anyway, I've already yapped for too long. Let's talk about the characters I like and why. First off, so there's 4 ladies in waiting who are going to be vying for the spot of the Kinu's wife. Probably should have showed this first. This is all 4 of them. So we have Hamiyu from the south, Shiratama from the north, Masaho no Suzuki from the west, and Asabi from the east. So they all come from different regions of Yamauchi, and there's a lot of like politics and bullshit going on here too. And I could make a whole other video just about these guys and just about Shiratama-sama here because holy shit. But anyway, I'm talking about characters I like, so let's go back to Lady Hamiyu. So she is the lady in waiting from the south, and she has a very interesting backstory in that her parents were nobles, but they were also criminals. They actually unalived somebody of very, very important political standing, and she was due to be killed, but her uncle is the brother of the current empress. So she makes a deal with him, and he says, okay, I need you to go the second crown prince to Kinu. So that was her mission. It gets thwarted, and she actually legs it. And the funny thing, the thing I love about her is, one, she is not like the other court lady. She doesn't give a shit about pomp and grandeur. She's a very down-to-earth, very realistic person. She drinks a lot. She just lounges around. All this chaos happens. She just sat there with her sake cup going, yeah, no, this is cool. I love her. And then before she escapes, before she departs, she says to the other three court ladies, just know that you don't have to be tied to a man to be happy. Your happiness is not rooted in finding love. And feminist queen, we love it. The other person I really like is this person. This is Prince Natsuka. So this is the person who was originally in line for the crown before Wakamiya was born as the Kinu. Now, throughout most of the series, he comes across as against his brother, is plotting to take over the crown. That is not the case at all. He absolutely loves his younger brother and wants to see him crowned and wants to protect him. So even though he has people around him trying to his brother, he's actually working in the background to lift him up. And even when he was at the minute he was born, his little brother, when Wakamiya was born, Natsuka has had his back. And so that was interesting because that was a huge plot twist. I didn't see that one coming. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see it coming. I really thought he was a bad guy. So that was a great plot twist. Another character with a plot twist. This one I kind of did see coming right at the end. So this is Rokon. Smash, by the way. Anyway, Rokon is from, I forgot which region. My bad. The south. The south. He is a southern Yatagarasu. And so he came across the same way as Natsuka did. They were actually working together to protect Wakamiya. And he is one of the few people that Wakamiya trusts his entire life with. Him and his brother. And so he knew there was a plot to Wakamiya. Although, again, they spun it so it looked like he was part of the plot. But he wasn't. And right at the end, right before Wakamiya is about to be by one of Natsuka's retainers, who I haven't mentioned in this video because he's a bitch, but I was like, oh shit, I bet it's Rokon. I bet it's Rokon. Ah! It's so good. It's so good. I've been on the edge of my seat for the last couple of episodes because it's so fucking good. And then lastly, yeah, let's talk about Yukiya because he's a great character. First of all, he does not want to be there. He is a very reluctant retainer at first. He just wants to, because basically they told him you have to serve this guy for a year. And if you can't do it, well, fuck you, basically. But if you can, then you can come back and live your life, whatever. So he had plans to just see out his year and then go home. But now they're all talking about, they want him to stay because his instincts are amazing. He knew. So he didn't know who was to be trusted and who wasn't. So he took a big gamble. He's like thinking and thinking. So basically what happened was, Atsufusa, I think his name was a loyal retainer of Natsuka. He kidnapped Wakamiya and Sumio, and he managed to escape. And so he's like, I need to get help. I can't deal with this whole thing on my own because he's not strong enough. He's just a kid. And so he takes a gamble, and he's thinking and thinking and thinking about the interactions he's had and things he's seen. And he takes a gamble and he goes to Rokon and says, please help Prince Wakamiya. He's been kidnapped. They're about to kill him. And so he did the right thing. He went straight to them and he gives his reasons why, and it's so good. It's so fucking good. He's a smart kid. And they beg him, because they're not begging, but they're like strongly encourage him to say, hey, after a year, why would you go back? Like, you could stay here and serve as his loyal retainer. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. I'm just about to watch episode 11. I believe there's 20 episodes of this, so the story is not over by any means, but I just wanted to throw this out there because I have very much been enjoying this. The art is stunning, the animation is amazing, the story is crazy, all the characters are very interesting, strong political intrigue vibes here. It's based on a folklore. It's set in what would be ancient Japan, feudal Japan, whatever. And yeah, it's just great. It's just really, really good. So if you haven't watched it and you like political intrigue, you like folklore, you like all that stuff, it might be worth checking it out. Once again, Yatagarasu, the raven does not know its master. And it's funny that there's crows outside yapping right now. Thanks for watching.